Family, man, get this adjusted. I have the pond behind me today, man. I want to show you guys the water. I'll give you guys a little bit, come on in here. Come on in, family, come on in. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit to get in. We're gonna go in today. We're gonna have a real heavy conversation today. I'm nervous. I'm already sweating. Man, family, what's up, Scott? Scorpio lady, what's up with you? Batman Beyond, what's up? It's all about the energy flow. You're right, Scott. Hey, so I'm going to get started. What's up, Libra Love? And on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, I bless each and every one of you. Hey, Kate, I bless you, all of you that come in on the live, those of you that catch us on the replay of YouTube, man, may God bless you as well. What's up, babe? Family, we're going to go ahead and get started. Man, you guys pray for me because I'm nervous. This is a heavy topic. It's a heavy topic. And it's a trip because people always say, man, Elijah, you know what? Dude, why you have such heavy conversations? You know what I mean? What's up, Chantel? You know, it's like, man, you're always talking about something heavy. You're always talking about something deep. And man, I don't even need to pay to have a coaching session with you. All I have to do is just watch your videos and my answers are in the videos. And that's real talk. You know what I mean? That's real talk, man. And it's like, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. You know what I mean? Yes, I am a life coach. Yes, I am a motivational speaker. But my goal, my purpose is, man, just to promote these videos. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take anything away from the videos. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm just going to lay it out there. You know, as raw and real as possible. And, man, if you're able to heal from these videos, that's the whole purpose. You know what I mean? That's the purpose of them. You know what I mean? That being said, we're going to talk about, what's up, Kate? Did I dye my mustache? Nah. Actually, I wish my mustache was gray. You know what? There's something about gray hair. I can't wait for my hair to turn gray. I want to have a gray goatee. You know, I think that's, man, there's something mystical about that, you know? But I got like one little strand over here, or whatever side is on. But yeah, what's up, Queen? But yeah, I can't wait for my hair to go gray. You know, I think that's cool as hell, you know? But that being said, man, we're talking about guilt and shame. Guilt and shame. You know, it's a trip because so many of us carry so much guilt and shame. You know what I mean? And the more people I talk to, the more people I recognize, man, we're guilty and we have so much shame about some of the stuff that we've gone through. You know what I mean? And it's a trip because for me, I felt shame and guilt for being molested as a kid. You know what I mean? I felt shame and guilt that my father was a murderer. You know, I felt shame and guilt that, man, we're spending every other weekend going to the prisons to visit him. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because you never know what makes somebody shame. You never know what gives somebody shame. You know, it could be, man, their father looks old, or their father's overweight, or their mom's overweight, or there's a sibling in the house that's mentally challenged, or hard of hearing, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And we have shame, you know what I mean? We're embarrassed, you know, because we're poor and we can't shop at all the nice stores. And so we carry this shame with us. You know, some of us have gone through marriages and gotten divorced, and that shame, that guilt of, man, what's wrong with me? How come I couldn't keep my marriage together? And all these other people have their marriage and they've been married 15, 20, 30 years and my marriage crumbled, you know, and just the shame and the guilt of not being able to keep somebody. You know what I mean? What's up, Jose? I was watching The Lion King, the remake version with my queen and mom yesterday. And there's something, I love that movie. This is the, I don't even know how you describe it. It's like the live version of it, computer generated version of it. The one with Beyonce on it as Nala. And so And I've talked about Lion King a lot because I love that cartoon. My favorite cartoon is Lion King, you know? And there's something about that that jumped out at me yesterday, and it's like, man, Elijah, you got to speak on this. And it was the fact that Simba was led to believe that he was the reason that his father died. Simba, his uncle, had did him so foul, his uncle had did him so dirty, and he made him believe that he was the reason his father died. He made him believe that nobody in the clan would accept him. He made him believe that everybody would be mad at him because it was his fault that Mufasa died. You know what I mean? Stay with me. And so often in life, we carry so much shame and guilt because of our family members, because our family members have told us some stupid crap, because our family members have led us to believe some stupid stuff. An ex-husband, an ex-wife, a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, made us believe, they didn't make us, but they led us to believe that something was wrong with us. And so we carry this shame and this guilt, like, damn, what the fuck? And I talk to so many people, you know, that want, they're looking for their king, they're looking for their woman, you know, their queen, and they're single and been single for years. And there's so many people that get at me. It's like, Elijah, man, I've been single for 15, 20 years. What the fuck is wrong with me? How come I can't get my king? How come I can't get my queen? And family, I understand when you've been single for a while and you're looking around at everybody else and you see these people, man, and they don't look like you look. You know what I mean? Some of them look overweight. Some of them are like real skinny. Some of them don't have the body you have. Some of them don't have the vehicle you have. Some of them don't have the money you have. Some of them don't have the education you have. But all these people seem to have relationships. And we're sitting there like, what the fuck is wrong with me? How come I can't keep a man? How come I can't keep a woman? And so we internalize it and we're carrying this shame and this guilt like, damn, something's wrong with me. And we don't express that to everybody else. We tell everybody else, oh, he was a hoe, he was a tramp, or she was a gold digger, or she was no good, and she was lazy. We tell everybody all this other stuff. We put the blame on everybody else. But internally, when we're by ourselves, internally, when the lights are out and it's just us in our apartments, in our house, we're sitting there and the tears are running down our eyes and we're thinking, what the fuck is going on? And we play music and some lovey-dovey song comes on, some good old music comes on, and it reminds you of this person. It reminds you of the fact that you're alone. It reminds you of the fact that you don't have somebody to hold on to. And it reminds you of the fact that everybody else seems to be happy in a relationship and you can't find a relationship. You can't find somebody to call you. You can't give your stuff away. And so we carry this shame, this guilt. And we put up this facade, oh, I'm married to Jesus and I'm happy alone and all this other bullshit. We talk like we happy, but the truth is, man, we want somebody that we vibe with. The truth is, we want somebody to connect with. The truth is, we want somebody we could just lean on their shoulder, lay on their chest. Just to be able to have a conversation with them, just to be able to sit there and drink a cup of coffee with them, just to be able to sit there and drink a cup of tea, go out for a walk, go out to eat, go to the movies with somebody, and just be able to hold hands. Just to be able to have somebody hug you and tell you, I love you. And so we carry this shame. We put on our nice clothes, we get on social media, and we talk about all this grand stuff and all this great stuff. And we're lonely on the inside. We're frustrated on the inside. And we can't figure out for the good of us what the heck is going on with us. Why can't I find somebody? I know I'm not perfect, but my sex life is pretty good when I'm with somebody, you know what I mean? And we thinking all this stuff. Man, I'm willing to do anything when it comes to sex except bring somebody else in a relationship. You know what I mean? But man, how come I can't find somebody? And so that starts playing with us. That plays with us because the reality, we start remembering all the other stuff that we went through in life. As kids, as young adults. And now that we can't find somebody, man, it's just confirmation. Man, you really do suck. You really ain't shit. You really are a bad person. Nobody's gonna love you. And so that guilt and that shame is there. And it kills us from the inside out. And the trip is, when you look at the movies Lion King, Simba, man, he went out on his own, ran away, as far away from as he could get from his family. How many of you have left your family? How many of you have moved as far away from the family as the place you grew up in? Get away from the madness. I joined the Air Force to get as far away from my family as possible, to get as far away as possible, so I could relate to Simba. Man, I'm out. I can't take this mess no more. And the trip is, Simba hooked up with this hedgehog, and I don't even know what the other creature was. But they had him out there eating bugs. Simba is a lion. Next in line to be king of the jungle. Next in line to rule this big, massive territory. And he's scavenging for bugs. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. He's living beneath his means. He's forgotten who he was. That's what so many of us have done in real life. Because of our shame, because of our guilt. Some of us, I carried, again, I told you, I carried the shame of being molested. I wouldn't open up and have a conversation with anybody because I didn't want anybody to know that. I would see people laughing and they didn't know anything about me, but they would be looking in my direction and I would automatically assume that they were laughing at me. I would automatically assume that they were laughing at the fact that I had been molested as a kid. These people don't know me. They couldn't have known my past. But because of my shame and my guilt, now here creeps in anger and all these other emotional issues. And so I would walk up to them, with a fake smile. What's up, Sean? With a fake smile. Hey, how you guys doing? What's up? What's so funny, man? As soon as they open up their mouth, pow, I'm hitting them dead in their grill because I had anger issues. And those anger issues stem from the fact that I had unresolved shame and guilt. Because of my shame and guilt, I was angry. And because I was angry and because I was shameful and embarrassed, anybody laughing in my direction, I thought they were laughing at me. I thought they were questioning my manhood. When I spent some time alone, raising my kids, my two oldest kids at the time. All these women around. But I had issues. All these women around. I didn't want to be with them. All these women around. And I was scared of connecting with them. Stay with me. I was scared of completely opening up to them. I was scared of becoming transparent. Why? Because I never wanted anybody to know my past. I never wanted anybody to know all the shit that I've gone through. Because of my shame, because of my guilt. And so, when we look at ourselves and we're questioning, man, how come I can't find a man? How come I can't find a woman? What's wrong with me? Am I too sexually active? Do I like sex too much? Does that intimidate the guys? Me being horny, is that too threatening to them? Because I want it more than they do. Or maybe I don't like sex enough. And the guys that I always got with, they were always horny. They always wanted to hit this. And I didn't want them hitting it all the time. I just want to sit there and cuddle with them, but they always want to have sex. but I didn't want to have sex. And so my dismissiveness of sex, did that push them away? Maybe I should have been more sexual. And so we carry this shame, this guilt, this doubt, this self-hate. Why do you carry shame? Do you even understand that you're carrying shame? Do you even understand that you're carrying some form of guilt? I talked about this movie a few days ago, The Shack, where the young girl, she went out in the canoe with her brother, and she was showboating out in the canoe with her brother, and the canoe flipped over. And both of them were up underneath the water, and her dad had to leave his baby girl on the land and ran and jumped in the water to rescue and save them. And in the process of saving them two, his baby girl was kidnapped, raped, and killed. And so the daughter carried this shame. She carried this guilt of, man, if I hadn't been showing off, my baby sister would be here. If I hadn't been showing off, my baby sister wouldn't have went through all that she went through. And so she stopped talking. She became a recluse for a while. She withdrew. And that's what a lot of us do. We become antisocial. We give up on humanity. We give up on relationships. We give up on family connections. We give up on all that shit. And it's not shit, but we give up on all that stuff because we have some shame and some guilt, because we have some hurt that we haven't been able to deal with. Why do you carry the shame that you carry? Do you understand how that shame has grew? And not just grew, it's turned into other things. Because of that shame comes insecurities. Because of that shame comes self-hatred. Because of that shame comes low self-esteem. Because of that shame and that guilt comes self-sabotaging. Because of that shame and that guilt comes hatred, comes judgment, comes isolation. Many of you, you have some shame. And I understand that. What I want you to understand is that none of us is perfect. None of us are perfect. None of us were perfect. None of us will ever be perfect living in this flesh. You've made some mistakes. We've all made mistakes. Sometimes we allow people into our business. And when I mean business, we have a business going, and we allow certain people to come in because we're trying to help them and we're giving them an opportunity, and we'll do, and they dog us out. They steal our clients, they steal our business, they do all kind of shit to us, foul shit to us. And we're left hanging. We're left holding an empty bag. We put them up on some shit and they took all of our shit. And so we're angry at them, but we also carry guilt and shame. You're not perfect. You're not ever going to be perfect in this lifetime. Understand that. Let go of that false sense of whatever you want to call it. Let go of that image of you having to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect. But as long as you hold on to guilt and shame, you can never be all that you came here to be. As long as you hold on to guilt and shame, the truth is, you cannot receive love in a healthy manner. I'm gonna say it again. As long as you hold on to guilt and shame, You can never connect with your significant other completely and transparently because there's a part of you that's filled and gripped with guilt and shame. And so you're never gonna let them all the way in. You're never gonna completely open up to them. You're never gonna become completely one with them. Yes, Kate, because of fear of the judgment. And that's why we isolate ourselves. That's why we're not transparent with each other. That's why we don't have real heart-to-heart conversations. That's why when you look at most of the crap on social media, it's superficial bullshit. It might be a deep mean, but there ain't no real conversation taking place about that deep mean and how it relates to our life. We might hit a like button, we might give it a hug, we might say facts, or we might say 100%, we might give it, fire, or we might do whatever. But we're not really having a heavy conversation about it. We're not talking about how that relates to me, how this relates to you. Because we're scared of somebody seeing my character flaws. We're scared of somebody seeing that, man, I done fucked up some shit. We're scared of somebody knowing that, man, as a kid, I was a hoe. And we don't want people to think less than of us. And so I can't let you know that, man, I was a tramp when I was out on the streets. I talk to all these women that, man, they want a guy that they could really connect with. They want a guy that they could just become one with and all this other stuff, but they're holding back. They'll give so much, and then they'll stop, and they'll withdraw. They'll give so much, and they'll pull back. And guys do it too. Why? Because you're scared you're getting too close. And a lot of times, this is why guys run away. They don't say anything to you. They just start ghosting you. Why? Because they're scared they're getting too attached. They're scared that if they get any closer, you're gonna see the real them. You're gonna see the shame and the guilt and the crap that they've done in the past that they're embarrassed about. Man, every one of us have a past. Every one of us has a past. Ain't nothing new about us. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing new about us at all. You know what I mean? And we have to go into our relationships, whether we just be friends or whatever, we have to go into, when we're talking to people, man, there's nothing new about me. And what do I mean by that? Man, there's nothing here that you're going to discover right now. You know what I mean? There's nothing new that you're going to, if me and my queen, when we got together, man, babe, there's nothing new here. You know what I mean? It might be new to you, but you're not discovering no new ground. You're not breaking no new territory. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. And I say that because, man, there's nothing new about her. Stay with me. And what am I saying? I understand that she has a past. I understand that she's been with other people before. I'm not the first one here in her life. She's not the first one in my life. That's what I'm saying when I say there's nothing new. And so we got to get out this craziness of, man, this person's cool, I'm cool, we're going to get together, and man, we're going to do all this great stuff, but I can't let them go past this part right here because I don't want them to see my past. And I won't open up and I won't talk about the stuff I've gone through because it's none of their business. And they're saying the same thing. And so now you both got secrets. Now you both got fears. And now when she says something, you're like questioning what the hell she's talking about. Does she know something that I don't know about me? Did she find out some shit about me that I didn't tell her? And so where'd she get this information from? And as long as you do that, your relationship's not gonna work. Because you're not becoming one. You're not being completely open and transparent with each other. You're not giving all of you to that other person. And you can't give all of you to another person as long as you're carrying the baggage of guilt and shame. It took Nala to go on this journey, getting back to the Lion King, to go seek for help, to remind Simba who he was. It took somebody else to remind him, man, you're a king. Yes, where you live it is beautiful. Yes, what you're doing here is cool. You hanging out and you got your boys with you, but man, you can have so much more. You were created to have so much more. Why are you settling for this? Why are you settling for this? And there's a scripture in the Bible, a story in the Bible that's always intrigued me. It always blew me away. I never really understood it until years later. And that's the prodigal son. Stay with me. The prodigal son is a story about a guy who his father's rich and has a lot of money. And he tells his father, man, I'm not trying to wait around for you to die before I receive my inheritance. You're young. You're going to live for a long time. Man, give me my portion now. Let me go. Let me go do me. No disrespect to you, but I don't want to wait around for you to die to receive what you have for me. Can I have my portion? Whatever it is, can I have that right now so I could go live life, so I could go do me? His father pulled out his wealth and he gave him his portion. The young man went out, man, all kind of women, just partying, drinking, clubbing, doing all that shit, right? Ran out of all his money. Now he's eating with the pigs. He's hungry. He's homeless. He's dirty. He's grimy. But shame, guilt. He can't go back home because he took his portion. He can't go back home because of his shame, his guilt. Wouldn't allow him to. That's pride. That's ego. That's ego. So this guy would rather eat the slop of the hogs with pigs than to go back home and humble himself. This guy got to the point, it's like, man, let me go home. Let me ask my dad if I could just be a servant. I'll just be a servant. I don't have to eat at the table with the family. I don't have to eat the portions and the food that they eat. Let me just be a servant in the house. At least I'll get something to eat. At least I'll have some clothes. At least I'll be able to clean up. At least I'll be able to lay down. Shame, guilt. He was the heir to all that his father had. Living beneath his means. Now he's willingly wanting to live beneath his means. Man, it's better than living out here. The house that I ruled in with my father and my brother, man, I'll just be happy to be a worker bee now. Because of his ego. And that was a hard thing for me to deal with. When God showed me that, Elijah, you're carrying this guilt. You're carrying this shame. Because it's your ego that keeps reminding you of this. It's your ego that keeps beating you over the head with this. It's your ego that keeps you a prisoner to your past. To keep you controlled. To keep you in this pathetic state. It's your ego that has you enslaved. Many people out there say, man, it's deeper than that. It's not about the ego. Family, when you look at it, when you get down to the nuts and bolts, all shame, all ego, all guilt, all ego. And what I mean, man, it's the ego reminding you of that stuff. It's the ego that won't let that stuff go. It's your ego playing games on you. And so I tell you guys, man, the battle is always over your mind. It's always over this. And the trip is, in our country, in America, man, slavery was man, there's a beautiful butterfly just landed on the camera. This is crazy. It's yellow and black. I can't even turn the camera around so you guys can see it. It's still on the camera. It's like looking at me. What's up, Saturn Galactic? I'm just tripping on this butterfly. In our country, we have a devastating part of our history due to slavery, due to how slaves were treated in this country. Stay with me. We're talking, stay with me. Now, family, nobody has to put you in shackles. Nobody has to put you in shackles. And the reason why people don't have to put you in shackles, reason why employers and all these others don't have to put you in shackles now, is because the truth be told, we're in shackles emotionally. Because our egos have us in shackles. Because of our shame. Because of our guilt. Why are you a prisoner to your own mind? Why don't you have control over your own mind? Why don't you have control over your emotions? Why are you allowing your ego to dictate how you live your life? Why are you allowing your ego to dictate how you feel about yourself? Why do you have your ego? Or why are you allowing your ego to allow you to live beneath your means? Family. Kate, I don't know if I read your question right. Why does anyone need to know about your shame? It's not that people need to know about your shame. It's that you need to resolve your shame. And when you resolve your shame, you could talk about anything from your past and it's not gonna hurt you. You could talk about anything from your past and that not bother you. It not be a trigger. It not be anything that hurts you in any way, shape, or form. And so the part of opening up and becoming transparent with people, it's not about, man, I'm telling everybody my business, because you shouldn't tell everybody your business. That's the worst thing you could do, is just start running off at the mouth and tell people, oh, well, I've been through this. And everybody don't need to know that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about in a relationship. But see, the thing is, you have to understand this stuff about you before you can even have a relationship with somebody else. You have to know who you are before you can get in a relationship and try to show somebody else who you are. And the trip is, most of us go into relationships trying to show people who we want to be. But that's not who we are. Because of our shame and because of our guilt. Because we have these unresolved issues. This is not who we are. This is who we pretend to be. And then when we get in these relationships with people and these people see the real us coming out, it's like, oh no, hold up, time out. Now we got some problems. Now we got some issues, because this is not the part that I signed up for, because you didn't tell me about all this right here. I didn't know about all this right here. Because you was faking the funk. You hid all of this right here. Now the truth is coming out. And I see you for who you are. And the truth is, you don't like that about you. You don't like that about you. Shame, guilt. This butterfly's still here. It's the first time this has ever happened to me. Man, family, we have to come into understanding of who we are. We have to know who we are. And understanding who we are, man, you don't know how freeing that is. You don't understand how liberating that is. And you can't understand how liberating that is until you go through that process, until you release that baggage, until you release that shame and that guilt. And then at that point, you feel so much lighter. At that point, it's as though somebody took some shackles off of your neck. It's as though I carry a backpack with me. It's as though somebody took this heavy backpack off of you. But we get so accustomed to carrying this backpack. We get so accustomed to carrying these shackles around us. And the trip is, I love working out. And part of the workouts that I would do, I would have a backpack and I would have 50-pound bag of beans in it. And that's heavy, you know what I mean? But I would go walking around with this backpack on. I would go running with this backpack on. I would go hiking up hills with this backpack on. Pulling all this weight, these big tractor tires, pulling this weight, okay? And you could get so accustomed to carrying your baggage. You could get so accustomed to carrying your shame and your guilt. So although I'm carrying this backpack and I'm exercising and I'm doing all this other stuff and I'm getting in shape, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. But take that backpack off. Take all the weights off. You could do so much better. You can do so much better. And that's all that this conversation is about. It just flew away. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's on my thing. It's on my bracelet. What's up? Man, it just flew off. You could live so much freer. You could be so much freer by letting go of the weight. Letting go of the baggage. You don't realize how much happier you'll be because you've never been that happy before. You don't realize how much more joy you'll have because you never had that type of joy before. You'll never understand the depths of how deep your love can be because you've never experienced love at that depth before. Because you got all this baggage that you're carrying, and all this baggage is prohibiting you from experiencing true love. All this baggage is prohibiting, it's stopping you from experiencing true peace, true joy. I don't know what it is with all these bugs flying all around me today, but you guys get what I'm talking about. And it's only once you let that stuff go that you can fall in love and it'd be free. It'd be free. So many of us, we've been in love. We thought we were in love. I promise you, family, the love you experience after letting go of the baggage, the love and the joy and the happiness you experience after letting go of your shame and your guilt and all the other trauma and drama that we've carried with us. You can't even imagine what that feels like. You can't even imagine the joy. It's not gonna be a long video. I just wanted to get on to talk to you guys. I just wanted to share with you guys, man, the importance of, man, understanding that we carry shame and guilt with us. But how devastating it is how devastating that is to us reaching our full potential. How devastating that is in order for us to having a loving, healthy relationship. See, you can have a relationship all day long, but if you haven't healed your trauma, if you haven't let go of the shame and the guilt, I promise you, your relationship is not going to be as fulfilling as it's capable of being. You're not going to be as great as you're capable of being. The butterfly, it's a reminder that, man, we all got to go through this caterpillar stage. And the caterpillar, he's able to walk and hang out in the garden and get up on the flowers and experience the beauty of the garden. He is. The caterpillar eats up the leaves and all this other stuff in the garden. But he has to go through this process where he shuts everything out. Shuts his family out. He's cut off from the world in order for him to transform into a butterfly. In order for him to reach his full potential, he has to go through that process. And now as a butterfly, he's able to enjoy the garden. Now as a butterfly, as a caterpillar, he was destroying the garden. But now as a butterfly, man, he's a pollinator. He's taking pollen from this plant, from this flower, and he's spreading it. He's helping the garden. He's able to fly and see the garden from a totally different perspective. As long as you're carrying shame and guilt, you're that caterpillar. I don't care how deep you think you are. I don't care how wise you think you are. I don't care how enlightened you think you are. I don't care how spiritual you think you are, how woke you think you are. All your chakras are perfectly. None of that crap matters. As long as you're carrying that shame and that guilt, you're a caterpillar. It is what it is. You got to go through that process of releasing that in order to transform into the butterfly that you're capable of being. That shame, that guilt, it was too heavy to give you your wings. You couldn't fly with that weight. You couldn't fly with that weight. You couldn't fly with that baggage. So you got to go through this process of dying to self, dying to your fucking ego, dying to the opinions of everybody else, and let go of all your baggage. Let go of all your trauma, all your shame, all of your guilt. And the trip is, after you let it go, after you transform and become that butterfly, all those things that you were embarrassed about, you can freely talk about them with a smile. Now all those things that you were embarrassed about as a caterpillar and you didn't want to tell anybody about, you was ashamed about, you was embarrassed about, and all this other craziness, now you're willingly sharing that information with others. Why? To help them grow. To show them the importance of letting that crap go. To show them the importance of you can make it through this. You can grow through this. You don't have to stay in this stage. You don't have to stay in this caterpillar stage of your life. But you have to die to your ego. You have to die to the world. My hopes and prayer is that you become willing and that you go through the process of dying to the world, dying to your ego, so that you become the butterfly that you were created to be, so that you could become the beacon of hope, the beacon of love that you were created to be. The stage has become a habitat, how to let it go. We talked about that yesterday. How do you let stuff go? Make a decision. Just make a decision. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm not trying to do this no more. I'm not carrying this baggage anymore. Until you get to the point of being sick and tired, you're going to keep going through it. It's like being in a bad relationship. Your parents tell you all the time, man, I don't want you hooking up with this guy. He's not the right one for you. But for whatever reason, we get it in our mind. Oh, yeah, this is the right one. I know him better than my mama do. I know him better than my daddy do. I'm going to hook up with him anyways. Even though your parents are telling you, man, nah, he ain't the one. Don't do it. You go do it anyways. Now you're in this relationship with him. You know he's cheating on you. You know he's verbally abusive to you. You know he's put hands on you. He's choked you out a couple of times. He slapped the dog shit out of you a couple of times. And you still stay with him. You stay in that situation. You do everything you can to try to make it better. You do everything you can to make him happy. To make it work. Until you get to the point of, I'm done. I can't do this shit no more. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And nothing he says, nothing he does can convince you otherwise. See, until you get to that point of being sick and tired, man, he could come back to you, baby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I just got mad and I had too much to drink and it won't happen again. And you accept it back. You accept him back. And the next week he slaps the shit out of you again. And then he gets to the point, it's like, well, stop pissing me off. Stop making me mad, and I won't hurt you like this. It's your fault that I'm hitting you. And you accept that shit. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. I won't push your buttons no more. I won't do this no more. I'll make this the way you like it, and I'll stay out of your business. I won't pick up your phone no more, and I won't go through your emails no more, and I won't check your text messages no more, and I won't do all this other stupid shit. Because you're not sick and tired. That's the habitat you chose to stay in. It's hell, but you're choosing to stay there. You're choosing to make it better. And you keep listening to his bullshit, and you start to get to the point, it's like, yeah, I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I don't trust him. And then you get to the point, it's like, you know what? I don't even like this motherfucker no more. You know what? I'm out. Deuces. You know what I mean? And there's nothing he can say to win you back. There's nothing he could do. He could buy you flowers. He could take shit to your job, have shit delivered to your job. Man, none of that shit matters to you. I'm done. Ain't nothing you can say no more. Ain't nothing you can do anymore. What's up, Wahid? There's nothing you could do anymore. There's nothing he could do anymore to get your heart back. That's how it is with everything else. And what I mean, that's how it is. You have to get sick and tired of carrying that shit. You have to get sick and tired of dealing with that shit. It's like being on drugs. Nobody grows up saying, I want to be on drugs for the rest of my life. Nobody says, I want to lose my family because I'm addicted to dope. Nobody says, I want to lose my business. I want to lose my house because I'm addicted to dope. Nobody says that. And yet there are hundreds and thousands, if not millions, of people addicted to dope who've lost their jobs, lost their businesses, lost their cars, lost their kids, lost their relationships, and everything else. They've been in and out of the prison system. They've dumpster dived. They've done all kind. They sold their ass, done all kind of shady, nasty, stanky shit just to get their next hit. And y'all know it's real. Again, that goes back to living beneath your means. Just like the guy in the Bible that we just talked, the prodigal son. Just like Simba. He's out there eating fucking bugs. He's a fucking lion. We do all that stuff. We accept all of that stuff until we get sick and tired of accepting it. And nothing, no one else can say to you is gonna make you grow up any faster. Your mom, your dad could do everything they can to get you off of dope. Your mom, your dad could do anything and everything they can to get this guy out of your life. But until you get sick and tired of it, until you get fed up with going in and out of prison, you're gonna keep taking your ass back to the pen. Until you get sick and tired of dumpster diving and doing all this other shit, selling your ass for a hit and all this other stuff, you're gonna keep doing dope. You're gonna keep doing dope until you get to the point it's like, oh, I ain't got no more left in me. I can't do this no more. What do I have to do to get off of this shit? Why did I get on this shit? I got on this shit because you know what? I went to a party and I was sad because my dog had just died and my boyfriend had just broke up with me and doo-doo-doo, and somebody said that this would take the pain away. And I hit it. And I've been stuck ever since. It's up to you to determine why you carry your shame. And it's only up to you how you let it go. Nobody can tell you how to let it go. Because nobody knows what your shame is. Or where your shame or guilt comes from. And so, once you get sick and tired of carrying it, you're gonna put the bag down. You come home from work after a hard day at work. You've been on your feet all day. First thing you wanna do, women, pull out their bras, take off their damn shoes, especially if they wear high heels. You know what I mean? Man, kick these shoes off at the door and yank this fucking bra off. Damn, I'm fucking free. Carrying shame, carrying guilt, carrying your baggage and everything else is no different from kicking off your shoes. I mean, I'm tired of wearing these motherfuckers. I can't get these bitches off fast enough. You walk in the door kicking the shits off. You walk in the door pulling your fucking bra all through your shirt, through your blouse or whatever. I can't get free fast enough. And you're gonna have to do the same thing with your shame, with your guilt. You have to understand why you carry it. And until you get sick and tired of carrying it, it is what it is. You've been carrying it for all these years, and it's become a habit. It's become the norm. So you're used to carrying it. And so it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. And it doesn't seem like it's a big deal because this is what I've always done. I got this, no big deal. But in order to reach your full potential, you're gonna have to let that shit go. In order to reach your full potential, you're gonna have to get rid of the dead weight. In order to get your butterfly wings, you're gonna have to let the dead weight go. You're gonna have to let it go. It is what it is. You can stay on this stage for as long as you want to. And it's nobody else's business. Nobody's gonna pull you out of that stage any faster. There's no mentor, there's no coach, life coach, there's no psychologist, psychiatrist. No one has the ability to pull you out of your funk. That's something you have to do on your own. That's something you're gonna have to do on your own. We're here to help you. We're here to hold your hand through the process, to encourage you through the process. We're here to inspire you and to motivate you and to challenge you through the process and to keep it real with you in the process and to call you on your bullshit in the process. But we can't pull you out. We can't speed up the process. The process is gonna go at the pace that you set. That you set. My hope and prayer is that you fall in love with yourself enough to let the shit go so that you can reach your full potential, so that you can get your butterfly wings. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for being here. The God in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God within each and every one of you. Every one of you have God within you. You're that powerful. You're that significant. You're that important. Whether you understand it or not, whether you believe it or not, you're that important. I love you. Happy healing. Peace.